Hi, everybody. From the ACCUSTATS Arena at Caesars, Southern Indiana, we'd like to welcome you to the 2023 Derby City Classic and the 24th edition of the Pocket Billiards All-Around Championship. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Pool's most exciting event, proudly sponsored by Diamond Billiard Products, Simonis Cloth, and Aramuth. And we'd also like to express our appreciation to our associate sponsors from Outsville and Master Chalk, and our great tournament direction team from Bad Boys Billiards Productions. Once again, thank you to CSI for hosting us for well over a decade, and thanks to all of you for supporting the Derby City family for so many years. All right, back into the one pocket division, round number 8 underway, 429 began, 32 left, 9 players have rebuys. Unfortunately, neither of these two gentlemen do, so this is to go on or to go home. Our first player from Hesperia, California. He's a former World 14-1 champion. He's a former U.S. Open 9-ball champion, and he holds a Derby City one-pocket title to his credit, sponsored by Predator and by Tom Chalk. Please welcome Mr. 626. It's John Schmidt. Thank you. His opponent's from Toronto. This gentleman holds the distinction of being the only man in history to win all the divisions here at Derby and the all-around. We call that the Alex Slam. And by the way, 2 of those wins are in the one-pocket division. And in 2019, he received our sport's highest honor with his induction into the BCA Hall of Fame. Sponsored by Lomax Hughes, Puyat Sports, and the Pagulayan brand. Ladies and gentlemen, the smallest man with the biggest heart, it's the Lion, Alex Pagulayan. All right, guys, go ahead. We're going to send it upstairs to the comm box, to the A-team. Mark Wilson, Double J. It's all yours.
Thank you, Kenny. We are now deep into the one-pocket event in the most prestigious event of the year in this discipline. Hello and welcome, pool fans. It's Mark Wilson and Jeremy on the call. Jeremy Jones. This is going to be an interesting contest, Jeremy.
Yeah, absolutely. I was watching the lags, and you should have seen Alex's face. He knew he hit it pretty light. Didn't see John's face because he hit it lighter, and that happens on the TV table sometimes. Don't recall either of these guys having a one-pocket match here yet. Alex, who's got a bunch of his voice kind of rings through the halls here at the Derby City Classic with so many championships and all-arounds and whatnot. Of course, John with a one-pocket title as well. And John taking down some big names this week for a guy that's not playing full-time. Seems to be playing really well.
Beat Roberto Gomez and Fedor Gorst. He did get one loss, though.
Yeah.
Which is easy to do.
Kind of like a 3-ring circus with those guys. Roberto's the one that actually gave Federer his other loss in this event. And makes the all-around shape up into a very interesting subject kind of halfway through the event.
Yeah.
Evan Lundu finished second. He's playing a noon match today in the one pocket with 1 loss. Finished second in the banks. Dangerous little break here. He's going to go for this cut shot. And if he feels good about making it, that is the safest shot. With the 13 up, you know, very hard not to give up something on the 13. Trying to play safe. Not a bad play here. What he's looking at is coming off the 1 and crossing the 1 on his side, going up to the end rail, challenging Alex on the 3-ball and maybe a thin cut on the 11. This isn't the worst thing, especially to begin a match, you know, to challenge a guy.
He's looking at dragging the cue ball off the 1 down into the behind the 11. No,
he's just going to play it light. Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
And probably a good idea, not starting off the match, taking a bunch of risk on right away. Maybe dig yourself a hole without getting a chance to play.
Yeah, the kick on the 13 is pretty nice, though. Pretty natural to cut it towards the 11 and 7 and spin up towards the 6-14 with the cue ball. He can be aggressive here.
And Alex is good on these type shots. Hit it in the right way.
Yeah.
How's his speed? Pretty good.
Pretty good. Hit it a little thick. A little unlucky with the 7 and the 11 there, not to push something a little closer to the hole. That was the beauty of the shot. you could be a little more aggressive because you knew those balls were going to slow the 13 down, meaning nothing was coming back across, right?
Yes. Kick and stick here.
He's looking to bank it is what he was looking at.
Oh, he's got enough of it to. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got enough of it. He's kind of draw it, I think, like a center ball.
But you want the cue ball to go into the 13 ball. Though,
Well,
right?
I think he's coming back into the 7. Oh, that's why I would have had to draw it to make sure I avoid the kiss.
I see. Yeah, most unfortunate double kiss there.
Because it wasn't ever going to be a roll shot. You know what I mean? He was hitting it firm. So when you're hitting it firm, you're probably going to give up a bank on the 7 or something in return. So I kind of liked him shooting it the best way to make it, which was kind of a draw stroke, I think. So.
When I looked at it, I thought he was going to have to overcut the bank to make sure to take the double kiss out of there.
Yeah.
And he was fixated on trying to make the ball. I don't know that it laid there because it didn't even come close to beating the double kiss.
That's because he went forward with the cue ball
Okay.
with the top English. That's like a stun draw, kind of like.
Yeah.
Not only make the ball turn over with the cut and deuce throw a little bit better, but you get the cue ball a little more out of the way. And with the stun draw, Mark, you can speed the cue ball up a hair because that stun really grabs it, right? So you can hit a little thinner to twist the bank back and avoid the kiss.
Yeah, subtle little nuance there.
Yeah. And guess what? You could have kissed it anyways. That's the bad part about the whole thing.
We both know that was very close.
Yeah, a little window here on the 8. You can talk about a few. There's definitely more of them now. But Alex really excelled at this part of the game, I think, over the rest of the field.
I would call it ball management, or shot man. He's just a handy guy. Once he makes one good shot and he gets the cue ball in position, he doesn't get himself in trouble for as near as often as you see other players.
Yeah, and he doesn't lap the field, obviously, but, when you play these events, races to 3, if you're just more efficient with the run out, and that's why we see most of the guys that win these events are the guys that run the most balls, you just got a big advantage. Now here he can pinch the ball a little bit, doesn't have to come up for the 1. And the good thing about when he pinches it, he should hold an angle on the 3 to go into the pile to maybe finish the rack. So he needs 3. And this is where I wouldn't, of course, slow roll it. You don't want to get stuck up pushing balls towards your opponent's pocket. You want to put a little speed on this. Not a lot. And he always knew he was going to have the 15. So playing for the 15 and 1.
Just a little bit of draw.
I think Alex would tell you, when it comes to rotation, hard to say if he's top 20 in the world anymore at the moment. You know what I mean? Like there's so many great players, and he struggled at times in the tournaments. But when he's close to the ball, he still might be the best in the world when he's close to the ball. Yeah. And that nothing taken away from Alex. That's just how many great players there are on this planet at the moment.
Sport's evolving. 1-0, Pagulayan in front after a double kiss on the bank attempt. Alex ran out. That's exactly the way that he won this event twice. Back to back. It was one of these things where he would make one hard shot and then never get out of line. The cue ball was pinpoint throughout and never be in trouble. He just made one hard shot.
Yeah, and he practices that one pocket ghost. We used to do that back in the day a lot. It's a very good thing to do as far as like it kind of trains the brain to settle in a little bit, keep it simple. It's just got a lot of value, I think. All right, touchy little shot just because the slick table. A little outer table, clipping the 9 and putting them underneath the 7-11, very easy to do overall. But this one, it doesn't want to bounce quite as much, so you got to really shave it pretty thin.
Yeah.
So it becomes more touchy when you got to shave it even more thin. But that's the shot if you're comfortable with it. can see him a little bit awkward cueing.
You know, you can kick at it too. It looks like over there, but you can block the bank is all. Oh, he hit it great.
Yeah, and that's important because you could see he was open up bank alleys there, right? So it goes from once you succeed with that shot, now it becomes kind of treacherous on John's end.
John may be forced to take a foul or else play off the 11 moving into the way, but I think the foul is the better way because you can cinch getting that through that gap over there.
Oh, I thought he could mass save for this to get over there.
Okay, but
either way, that's the correct shot and very good speed. Huge to keep Alex on the rail, just like any of the great players. Now, it looks like it's fallen just perfect for Alex to push on the 3 and still get in the same spot, banking the 3 across. Now, this is where if the stroke's good, you can kind of hold the 3 on your side.
Mm-hmm.
The stroke, if you get, let's say this, if you get the most out of the stroke.
And that means complete your swing, don't poke it.
You see how the 3 wants to come across a little bit more, right? And now that's not a bad thing, though, because the 313 is makeable from pretty much anywhere up on that end rail. Now, he's going to have to make, I don't know. I don't know if I get on 2 fouls right here, if I can help it.
No, right. I don't think it's got enough value.
Yeah. He's going to come underneath the 9 here instead of...
he brushed it, didn't he?
No, I don't think so. But it was a very good shot. Now, Alex is going to take the foul back. That's the thing. If you're not cutting him off on being able to take the foul back, you're going to have to make a touchy shot here in a moment because you're on 2 fouls.
Well, it came through there so clean and close to the 9. I thought he might have brushed it. I think he was trying to brush it, and he knew there was a chance of pocket scratching there, but he also knew there was a chance he could extract himself from a terrible spot.
Yeah, Alex should definitely take this foul right here.
And it's not that he couldn't rub off a ball and possibly get there, but he wants to cinch it and does not want to open up any bank lanes. So the foul was the most conservative, effective way. Yeah, Alex is wicked good.
Ooh.
Wicked good on that.
I'll tell you, so 1 coin will come off to where John only owes 1 because Alex took a foul. We talked about that rule where only 1 person can owe. But if you ever want to think about what to do, just kind of look at the history of what's gone on in your game. Like right here, Alex has put him there twice, and John has had to foul twice, right? So pretty obvious where to go for Alex. And very smart shot there. A lot of people would get very involved in running the cue ball safe, and when you're in that position right there, just try to get through that next shot since you're on 2 fouls, right? Keep it simple.
Yeah, you're going to lose position no matter what you do here. Alex had the upper hand just due to the distribution of the balls, so don't complicate things and make things worse.
Yeah, and Alex, I think, should shave the 11 and go back on the 11. And the reason why is if John has to continue to do something like he did, Alex is going to come away with something that kind of plays some one way or another.
Right.
The cue ball is going to get in position to where Alex can do a little something. I don't know if I open this or not. Now, he cannot challenge from the end rail with the 313, so playable. I don't think he can anyways. This would be very surprising to me. Wow, the 313 looks like pretty easy unless he's leaving him to where he can't get shape. You know what I mean, Mark? Like to where he has to go forward with the cue ball in the 313 and not get shape.
He has to take some risk, I guess, but Alex is going to go.
Yeah, and he can draw into the 7, it looks like. Since the cue ball's off the rail, now he may not want to shoot it that way. He may shoot it with a high ball. But the problem with the high ball is you're going into a piece of the 9 and you might clear everything out. The problem with the draw stroke is the 3 might clear the 9 out after making the combination, right? Because there's a little cut there.
Yeah.
Still think it's kind of the shot for Alex, though. You got to figure him to get a bank, something. The 10 goes, right? So I think this is a more dangerous shot. Banking through the 11, following down behind the 10. Okay, he's just going to shave the 14. Kind of a double kiss onto the back of the 7 is what he's hoping. Oh, man, that's got to go. Yeah, to me, now he's giving up a ton of position.
Right. John can shoot the 3 into the stack and tuck the cue ball underneath.
I like that.
On the end rail.
Center ball, just kind of stun it.
He can clear it this way. That's better.
Yeah,
Way more effective. Great shot. Great shot.
Yeah, it worked out good. And your shot was great. The only thing that one was moving less balls, meaning, a little more control, right?
Oh, and look at the effect here. He's taking away a lot of the problems. Got a threat over
Can he
there.
kick the 14 and make the 13? Kick the
Yeah.
14 over. You got to aim high, and you got to hit it with a high ball with a little speed.
And this can set the 14
Like
in
that.
motion.
Yeah.
And now Alex has tipped it back the other direction. Nice exchange right there.
That's why I always said that after playing One Pocket, Mark, that it's almost like the pool table was designed for this game. There's so many natural shots that you're doing one good thing, other good things happen. Kick shots are natural for the game. Touchy here. The 14 could kind of move a little bit. Oh.
Ugh. Well, as John's wife said, he sewered. John will lose the ball that he pocketed, or Alex pocketed for him.
And John can run out with the best of them. But, our vantage point here, I got to see him play a lot, yesterday, 2 different matches. And it seemed like he really did well once it got into the game a little more, like he moved really well, you know. And that's one thing I played Alex here a ton in a bunch of One Pocket matches. And one of my goals is to get into the game longer and longer. Now, of course, if you have a chance to run out, you can't pass because, Alex is incredible no matter how he plays. But I think for John, the longer it goes, he gets a little better chance, gets a little more settled in. Okay, trying to get on that 10 ball. The good thing about the 10, if you can stay off the rail, you may not gain the angle, but if you gain an angle to fall on the 7 for a thin cut on the 7,
that'd be great.
That's when you can go into the balls, with a high inside, stuff like that.
Yeah, playing the normal straight pool breakout because the ball arrangement is such that they're all apart doesn't assure you. There's nothing that says I'm for sure getting a shot.
Right.
If you come in there off the 7 and say go into the 8 ball, you almost have to get a shot.
Right. Go into the 8, the 15-5 will move, the 2 will move.
Right.
Now he got the angle to go into him off the 10. So he's going to hope the 5 does a lot of work for him here. Now, the good thing about this shot, which is the best thing about it, I think, is he can really hit it with a lot of speed because the 1-6 is going to hold the cue ball. He's not going to end up table on the end rail. And he wants a lot of speed. That way the 5, he gets a lot of the 5 ball. It goes into the edge of the 15. The 8 should open.
When it goes into the edge of the 15, it takes some speed to separate those balls.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and he drew it, which was surprising to me. I thought he would go with a high ball.
Okay, well.
It looked like a high ball would catch the 15 and still go into the 1-6 with the cue ball.
The good news here is that John's scratch will not be fatal.
No, and Alex is now to where I don't see any real way that John's not going to have a great position when he comes to the table. I mean, he can't get the 7 on his side. He can't really move it too much. He can move it, but I don't see him putting a ball on his side of the table and really guarding. And that doesn't mean necessarily by his pocket. He just needs something on his side, that being Alex. Well, he's hitting a high ball here. Is he chopping this? No. Pretty standard here on the 11, you would think.
Just bank it for your pocket and let the cue ball settle in on the end rail.
That's right. The one's a big ball. He's going to try and twist it, so this may be more of a make, trying to make it. You just find always that this table, the TV table, is just not going to turn those banks, especially the long railers. This ball got odd. The one's a little tight to follow straight through. You know what I mean? Like any miss hit, you catch the 11 or the point. I wonder what he's looking at here. Looks like he's shooting the 1. He's cueing kind of downward here. Is he dragging off the 11 back into the stack? I don't know what he's doing. Okay. This is a really nice shot if he can hide it. He don't care if it's close to the hole. Just as long as it's on his side, that'll slow down, John.
Yeah.
A really good stroke there, too, from distance, really laying the cue ball down. Look at this. John's going to go for the 6. 2 rails behind the 13. Really, it might be free. He's got to hit it a little bit. Well, it's not free. The 5 goes, but
11 goes.
Yeah. The 5 ain't bad, though. I mean, if you're going to be a shooter, just because you can stun towards the 6 with the cue ball in between the 15 and 5, but still kind of dangerous. Alex knows this is fairly deep in the tournament. Doesn't have a buyback, playing a great player. I doubt he shoots here, but Alex also is the type that'll be like challenge himself. Like, hey, you're supposed to shoot here, kind of like man up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, the 11 would be my last choice just because there's no guaranteed position. See how he just cinched it? I know the 15's there, I guess, but for most one-pocket players, that'd be a hard way to shoot a long shot and just kind of rolling it,
But he had himself pretty well protected. I mean, I guess he gave up a combination.
Yeah, John's making that 14-6 combo. I mean, it wasn't a hard combination at all. Now, maybe Alex was trying to get into the stack a little more with the cue ball when he shot the 11, Now, John can bank the 5, maybe, and draw back onto the 2.
I don't think he can hit it hard enough to reach his pocket from
No,
there.
but it's still, though.
Yes.
I mean, even if you don't get it there, just play the cue ball. You got a ball in your pocket. That was a 15.
He's rubbing it down in the corner, I guess.
15's not cuttable, I guess. Oh, he's just taking the foul, which is very smart.
Perfect speed. Perfect speed.
Now, Alex maybe cut off the kick here with the 1 ball.
Well, I think that was part of the hope for John was if he could get that in the way and get some type of well, he's not really behind in the game if he gets first shot here. First offensive shot.
You may see Alex take another foul right back. See him keep him on the end rail here.
Yeah.
Now, if he can get at the 6, that wouldn't be the worst thing to do and just give it to John, right? I mean, the 15's not really that bankable if you put the cue ball in certain places. Yeah, exactly like that. And he left him on the kiss.
Good call, Double J. Just don't even fight with it. Just let that ball go.
Yeah, I wish I could remember all of them, but Bobby Jones, who was a very good player from the Houston area, he'd always talk about one pocket. Well, you got some things you can always do. You can always take a foul. You can always make your opponent's ball for him, like some standard things.
Yeah.
Now, this is the one's touchy. Because following it definitely gives up a cut on the 15 if you're playing the one at his pocket. So he may go for the make here. He's going to go with a high ball. I wouldn't say this is a terrible choice at all, but I mean, like the choice you want to make, but it's probably the correct choice.
Yeah. Yeah, because Alex, he's such a good ball pocketer. If you get anything that's even close, he can shoot it in. Just get that out of there. The parry. It's not what you wanted to do. You wanted to get, extend your advantage on the ball position, but it wasn't the right time to do it.
You can always tell watching Alex's face. He wanted to catch the one ball there with the 8 coming across. Barely missed it. Just trying to get something on his side, that slows John down a bit.
John needs to make a good effort to get a ball by his pocket here.
Well, and definitely if you can't do that, leave him on the rail. That way he can't move balls, right, with this lead. Because look at the line of the balls. If John happened to get a shot, they're sitting pretty sweet.
It'd be like a little straight pool practice drill there for him.
Now, he's done real well, leaving the 1 kind of funny to get out of there. It's kind of kiss-ish. And if he gets it out of there, the only place he can put it is up the table on John's side. So Alex may look at chopping on the 8 here. This is dangerous and going 2 rails below the 15. He's going to edge it. Usually when he goes with the real high ball from distance, he's edging the ball. Oh, he's trying to go through it. Doesn't want that to hit the point and open up for a bank. I wouldn't get in a hurry. He's still got a lot of balls here.
Yeah. You're not anxious to send them all up table either. You want to keep them down in the scoring position if you can. And it would be nice if he could do something with the 8-13 so he's got at least a bank back his way.
I think there's a kick. Watch this sweet shot. 13 off the 8. 8 banks cross corner. Stick the ball. See it?
Boy,
See?
What a shot.
Yeah.
Very heady. Oh, super shot.
Yeah. And that's what I mean about natural as far as the game of one pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many of those. I mean, like hundreds of little variations of shots that you're like, man. All right, coming off the 7, putting him on the 8. Wants to hit the 7 thick if he can. Oh, he's playing the 5.
Good with the cue ball.
Yeah, really good with the cue ball. John may play the 8 back, trying to stun up the rail by the 1. Now here, I may not try to make this. I might play the 8 into the 15 mark and do the same thing with the cue ball, not try to twist it so much. And he may have been doing the same thing there. Maybe get a little friendly rub on the 15.
Yeah.
So. But this has become very sticky for Alex. That's why the last shot, I probably wouldn't have opened those balls. Playing off the 5, I probably would have opened off the 7 to get behind the 8. And the reason being, when you play off the 5, you're opening the 15 below the balls, right?
Yeah.
Now it's hard for Alex to defend against that 15.
And just what you said yesterday a couple times about having balls down low like this, now defending the 8, you can take it out of there, but you got to be so mindful of these banks. The bank lanes are all open.
Yeah, and now he's in a very difficult situation with the lead here in game 2.
It's kind of funny. You can have the lead, but if the ball's distribution favors you, you're not really far behind at all.
Yeah, you wonder how to compare that to another game or sport. It's really not like that. All right, he's going to have to execute here, double banking this a little into the 7 maybe, 1 rail, and then sliding 1 rail below the 15 like this. Now, he's not going to get there. He's hoping the 8 ball helps him out, and it did.
Yeah, so...
well, that was pretty fortunate.
Looks like John's got a nice chance to get the 7 by his pocket
Yeah.
and just follow down.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he could easily remove the 15-8, but that's not very productive.
Especially for his score.
He could just get,
Well, the funny thing before this match, I was talking to, I think it was Evan Lunda, and he was commenting about John, how well he's playing. I said, yeah, I watched him quite a bit yesterday in a couple matches from the booth, and I thought he banked real well, is what I saw a lot of times, too. Moved real well, and I didn't really see him miss any banks or there over the pocket.
Alex is just a killer on this cue ball.
Yeah. He does have a piece of the 2 to come across it. Nothing wrong with that. Put him up table.
And you can hit it heavy and go into the 14, or you can, and then you take that side pocket out of there. That's probably good that he didn't go all the way across, too.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
That ball and that out in space is much more difficult to deal with than one near the rail.
Yeah. Yeah, so he played that perfect. And this is a super experienced one-pocket guy. John Schmidt, a lot of people just think of straight pool, but he's got the tools for one pocket, too.
All right, just gliding off the 5 or the 6. Whew. Yeah, and you got to go into that with a lot of throw and not worry. That gets you to the side rail and kills the rock as best as possible. A lot of people, it's scary, but yeah, I've played John a ton of times myself back in the day.
Just going to lag this in, the 8 ball I'm talking about.
Oh, too much. Too much. Oh, no, he got it. He killed that nicely because he went deep up there on the end rail.
Well, that was a good shot.
Alex, if he had the proper angle to swing the 5 on the top of the 15 and hold the ball, he probably would clear some balls here, but he's just going to take his time dropping down, trying to put the 14 up table. And this is where you use, he could see that ball. Yeah, I don't know if I would have done that. I thought he could play off the 14, which was a much closer ball, but maybe he was snookered.
John's considering banking the 13.
Well, he could challenge from here if he wanted to 2-rail it and kind of draw towards the 1-4.
No, I'm thinking twist bank.
The 14.
The 13 all the way back.
One rail.
And then drag the cue ball along to the center of the table.
Yeah.
It might be too thin for that. But
well, you can just play it thick. Don't worry about your pocket so much. Just get it down there. Now he's kind of moved one up a little bit. Really good with the cue ball, though.
And once again, that 2 ball being out in space as opposed to on the rail really makes it tough to deal with.
Yeah, you might chip the 13 here. You might come across the 6, get the 6 on your side. Of course, in-rail speed to keep him off that 14 that Mark had talked about. You'd rather do it off the 6 here, but if you can, if you're comfortable with it. If not, that's the shot, and that's way light. Wow, the ball's rolling out pretty good. Thought John might have got the twist back bank you were talking about there.
Now, you want to go for your pocket, but I think it's better to just move it down the table, hitting it thicker, and leave the cue ball on the rail, rather than if you go for the bank, that cue ball comes out there too hot. He went for it. Did a good job of killing it.
I like your shot there, Mark. Still a little better, just keeping him on the rail a little more. Move that 13 down casually around the middle of the table, a little past it.
Yeah, kind of what you said yesterday. And sometimes you double them up on the 2, and then
Well, not only that, that 13's opened up much more for other banks. You know what I mean? It's just guards. It makes Alex guard against another ball.
I used to always go for my pocket, but now I've learned the value of ball management rather than ball pocketing in that spot.
Yeah, and another part of it is, oh, look, he's going to be like, how did I go by that ball? Another part of it is how often you succeed on the shot executing it. You're just never going to miss that very often just because there's all kinds of ways you can hit it, and it's just fine. Does he have the 2-railer here, or is he just coming across the top again?
He did. Oh, no, just across the top.
Speed, he's going to be unhappy with that. Now, I don't think Alex will cross the 13. Not really much of a pocket there. I like him 2-rail on the 13 out and kind of cut it just a hair to where the cue ball kind of creeps 1 rail towards the 15. Let it go slowly into there. You see how he cut it just a little bit, right? And then he's trying to hide it with one of those balls right there. So very good job from Alex. You don't want too much cut on that shot, by the way, though. You'll could entertain a kiss. He's trying to really twist this bank. Oh, he hit it sweet.
What a nice shot.
How did he
Just
creep
leaked
behind
it
that
on
ball?
there. Boy, if he gets it up on the back of that 5.
Oh, that was pretty unlucky. I don't know if Alex sees the 5 ball that cuts right on in. He can spin it in for sure.
Yeah, I don't think he's looking at it even.
Just going to ticky this going behind the 14. Oh, no, he kicked it. Maybe the 5 wasn't shootable.
I don't
Looked like
know.
to me with a left spin.
I thought it was too. He didn't even seem to consider it. So
All right, Alex needs 2. Well, I'm not sure what he's doing with the 13. He's got to come across, not to leave a shot on the 14. So, oh, he's shooting it. Look at this shot.
what a nice shot.
He is a pretty creative guy. Now Alex can roll at this ball knowing the 5 and 15 have got a lot of protection.
And this is a speed that if you miss, you don't want it coming up for a bank. So this is just going to be super slow or pretty firm. We'll just be in between.
Yeah, his ball speed will be so good, dragging the ball probably. I'll tell you, it's one of the hardest things to commit to, but if you can get to where you're really good at it, dragging the ball with center ball. Of course, we all drag the ball with outside. That's kind of like why the shot's there, to kill the ball. But dragging it with straight low is pretty strong if you can get comfortable with it.
Pagulayan now leads 2-0.
Saw a guy this week I've talked to a few times, but I haven't seen in a long time. He was really good at that straight draw drag, Michael Coltrane. What a player he was.
The train.
A lot of people don't realize how great a player he was. All right, a quick 2-0 for the Lion.
Earlier this week, John beat Roberto Gomez after trailing 2-0 and 4-0 in the final rack, or what could have been the final rack. John rallied and beat him 3-2.
Now, Alex switched pockets there on the break. Didn't like the corner ball. This one came out worse. So now John gets to get going a little bit, possibly. This is going to get awkward. This combo looks, it's a lot of cut.
Maybe you can cross corner the 1.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, this is where you want to take your time and make sure you get the most out of this shot. Even if the cross corner isn't good, you really want to rearrange some balls. I don't know if he can get at the 1 how he wants.
Yeah, maybe not.
He's banking it. He's going aggressive into the 1 with the cue ball.
Beautiful shot.
It's going to come up a little bit.
Beautiful shot, Howard.
Now, you're right on there. Does the 6 bank by the 13 mark?
I don't think so.
Okay. Now Alex can make it a long game here, shooting the 6 into the 13 into the ball hanging. Try and make him scramble out of there.
That's probably the best shot. It's a high velocity stop shot. And just let the cue ball, the goal is get the cue ball on the end rail.
Yeah, just let it stun down, right?
Right. Even if you pocket John's ball, just so there's enough pace on the 13 that it exits the area. The only fear would be if you hit that super full and the 13 hangs right by John's pocket. Hugely embarrassing.
I think he might be able to clear them all. It's a little bit of a luck kind of thing, but cut the 6 a little on the right side of the 13 and let the 13.
Yeah.
The good thing is if you do it that way, if you make the 12, the 13 can't stay there. it's got to at least move a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, he was trying to move him.
All right. Oh, looky there.
Yeah.
I don't think it goes.
Well, if it doesn't, I think it does go, but he's
Okay.
really got to work it to get shape, I think. Maybe hit
Maybe
it.
super light so it doesn't rattle out of the pocket.
Might be able to throw it a hair off the left side of the 7. Ooh.
Okay. Well, now we get to see John run some balls here.
First shot's tricky.
It is.
First shot is tricky. He's going to go and come up into the 1 is what he's trying. Just float across the 15 like that.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now he's got the 9.
Yeah, he's got the 15 to get on the 1, 13, 4, 14 as well. So here with the 2-8 being here, just be careful. I'd probably go ahead and get clean for the 6 here maybe if I could. But these balls here, the 15, look at the 1, 13, 14, they all go. So hard to mess up when you got 2 to 3 to, have a choice on, like playing 8-ball, right?
Yeah.
Playing 8-ball. Don't panic when you got 2 of them there. You don't have to be so perfect. The angle will usually be okay.
Now he can play the 14 if he doesn't like where he's at. He did get a little further away from the balls than he really wanted to.
All right, just no miss, that's all.
Slow back, straight through. Good shot. Pretty handy.
Huge game. Alex broke in this game right here, so. Man, he's so close to the 9. Looks like he could pinch it back. It's amazing how those angles and what you can do can change us so much when you're close to the ball.
Playing for 2. And 2-1 is our score now.
Yeah, huge game right there. John's break now in game 4.
Do you know John's wife, Felicity?
I've never met her.
The sweetest girl ever, and his biggest fan. And she loves One Pocket too. She oftentimes plays his dad, Michael Schmidt, watching John. John says they battled for hours playing One Pocket. That's what she loves, One Pocket. All right. John gets the break. Oh, 4-ball leaked out.
Yeah, leaked out quickly as well.
Huge problem.
Yeah.
Alex is so good from here.
Yeah, I wonder if the 3 goes, because not a lot of balls, but so when it's like this, you don't want to guard pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Alex is great. He could go over and get position on the 13, but I bet he lays up for the 9-ball bank. Like I said, he's going to check and see what's available from the top of the stack.
Yeah.
But a lot of balls open here. You don't want to get too frisky trying to be very aggressive.
Well, I think, 4, like the 4-9-3, if that goes. And then from there, you can, either get an angle or you can come down a bank.
Yeah. He'd love to be able to get to where he could hold off the 9 for the 13. And then if he gets rid of the 13, he can be a little more aggressive because, those are the 2 balls nearest, John's pocket, right? So he can get position here on the 13, but I think he holds for the bank, and that's not what he wanted, I don't
You get
think.
pretty thin.
Yeah, much thinner than he wanted. I don't think he'll pass on it, but... And the way he shot that was what he had in mind is getting closer to it, where I thought he might just roll this in and make sure he gets a better angle, not being so close to the 9, but really floating it, it looks like.
He's not real happy about where he's at.
Now, the 9-ball started for most of the players in that enormous event, which will be the final event here at the 2023 Derby City Classic. Well, the way he put his cue stick down right there makes me think he's cutting at the 3 somehow. Maybe a lot of right English. I don't know. If he doesn't cut at the 3, he's definitely got to bury the cue ball, most likely in the stack. Maybe draw off the 13 into the 11, something like that.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He's getting the cue ball into the stack here and moving the 13 away.
Well, he made sure.
Wow.
He made that one.
What a shot.
Later.
What a shot.
Great hit. And this ball got up on top a little bit.
Yeah.
So John's going to have to long rail kick at this. Can he kick bank this, or is it too risky, Mark?
It looks like it's up out of the pocket just enough that it requires a super hit, not just a pretty good hit.
So what John looks like he does is he measures, kind of splits the cue ball and where the object ball is in half, and that's how he goes to the top rail. And that's what I thought the last one was going to do, because he aimed pretty wide. Remember in game number 1, was it? Now, if the good thing this ball got a little funny, or Alex should be banking the 14 back on this.
Right. Yeah, it's not really laying right to play the object ball bank past the 13. That can definitely tick you up. These are 4 1/8 inch pockets.
Yeah, now the one thing he could do is he could play the 14 and kind of draw back just a hair to where the bank on the 7's not available. And if he could squeeze this by, that gets a lot of balls.
But it looks like he has to cut the bank just a little bit.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt you too bad, though, because you come up into the 8, right? A little?
Right.
Yeah.
That's the way it's laying.
He's coming back for that bank, and he got on a kiss. He's not going to be happy here. Now, Alex, with that very good cue ball, he may pinch this, kind of bank the 14 over 2 rails and just lay him on the 7, but I don't know if he can beat the kiss here. I'm right on the line. I think he actually played it the right way, trying to get on one of those banks, the 7 or the 14, but SVB was in a heck of a match as we started this one. It was 7 apiece between him and Jeremy Seaman. See that, how he tries to pinch it like that? Just floats it over. I think he snookered him.
Pretty powerful shot there. Pretty heady move. Just take the bank out of the equation altogether and play the cue ball totally.
Yeah. John's got to worry about the 7, even if he can soft kick behind this. I'm not sure what he can do.
May be able to get the high side of the 14 and move the cue ball up table a little bit off of it. Oh.
All right, pretty nice.
Hang on. Yeah, good.
Yeah, very nice, actually. Got deep behind that ball from that angle. To crawl down the rail from that angle, because that 14 wasn't a mile off the rail or anything. He got deep behind it. Filler still hanging in the one pocket for all the filler fans out there. 32 left in the one pocket, 9 with rebuys at the beginning of this round. Round 9, I believe. I think so.
I think it was, I thought he said round 8.
8, okay.
I thought he said 8, but I could easily be wrong.
He's got to get rid of the 7 here, I think. Well, it looks, I don't know what he's doing here. Playing off the 14 is dangerous. Yeah, I like that. That shot there. Trying to clog some balls up. Martinez Gerson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still hanging. Had a deep run in the banks. Finished 4th. And he's may have
2 and
given
the
up.
5 might be a problem there.
He did.
I think it's too high to throw it in.
Well,
But hopefully,
I don't know.
John, yeah.
Looks very playable to me one way or another, if he can get at the side he needs. But it looks like it's roaming around that pocket to me. So unless he has to throw it upward where he can't get at the bottom of the two. I don't know if he got the cut on the two or not. And there must have been some question mark for him to shoot it like that and not open the balls.
Yeah.
Now Alex has got all the balls kind of doubled up a little. So in his defense, if he had to, he could kind of hit the two a little thicker and come down the table where he's looking now. The 10 not cuttable because of the side. The 6, 7, 14 doubled up. The 3's got the 1 and 15 covered. So this shot right here, he may not really try to play to make it. Oh, he did. Well, that's going to give up the 10. Not sure where he thought he could go with that cue ball. I thought he would just brush it thick on his side and come up into this corner he was looking at. John's got a good chance. He's got to kind of float this to get that shot on the 14 a little bit.
Good pressure shot there. That first shot of any inning, always a challenge. You really got to make sure you bury that one.
He's got to get on the gap on the 15. That'll offer a lot. That looks pretty perfect.
Boy, you hit the gap, all right.
Yeah. A little funny going into the 6, 7. You figure to get a shot, but
Right.
drawing to the 7 or split them, you got to figure you'll carry the 6 a little bit.
The tournament desk is looking for Michael Schmidt or Mika.
Good shot there to get that 6 rubbed over to the rail with a hint of an angle now. You know something about John's stroke, and it's really interesting. He has more power than you would imagine from a fairly compact swing.
Well, he's a very talented individual. And it's kind of like Shane to an extent. Different swing altogether, but they do a lot at impact, you know?
Yeah.
Really good hands, really good talent. You know, of course, John, a great golfer. He's done a lot of things well in his life. Surprised he's looking at the 7 with the 1 going.
I think he doesn't.
Oh, he owes 1 also. That has a little something to do with it.
I think he likes the achieving a different angle on these 2 balls that go.
Well, he certainly wanted to use the 1 to
Yeah.
open some balls up, right? So
Now he's getting himself, he's going to have to draw 1 rail back out to get the angle. But he wants the cue ball about where it's at right now. Giddy up and go.
yeah,
Can he get on the 11?
the stun angle's the dangerous one, but John would know it better than I
Yeah.
would for sure. But the stun one is where it wants to stick a little more. You don't maybe hit your numbers, you know,
Yeah.
as far as the line of the cue ball as well.
This is
He'd like to stun draw to where he
right.
hits the 11
Just
and
hit
the 10.
well, just hit the 10 only would be best.
Yeah.
Then you know you have the 11. Otherwise, you got to blast it and get the 8 across. Oh,
Yeah, it's going to get a
yeah,
little
he kind of
funny.
let up. He kind of let up on that stroke, Jeremy.
Yeah.
He kind of moved his bridge hand. He didn't get through it his way I thought he was going to. The other choice, he could have blasted that and just relied on the 8 ball coming back across off that combination.
Well, that's the problem when you have to stun. You know, it just doesn't. It's weird. It just doesn't carry as much power. It seems like coming off the ball. But okay, so he's got to make it. Maybe, who knows? The 2's a little funny.
There's going to be a ball come up on the spot.
Yeah, watch out for that corner up in the.
Good shot.
Yeah, watch it
Good
spread
shot. Good
there.
shot.
So he's got to make a nice shot here, whether that be cutting at the 8, which may be a safer shot. He could bang the 2 around the table and run the cue ball as well.
This is his out ball. I like him rolling to the pocket.
Yeah.
Alex runs out on you. You just have to take your medicine. But
Well, the ball in the spot, kind of the feeling I get with the angle is he may get the eclipse on the 8 with the ball on the spot after his turn's over. Don't go the end rail. The speed is just to lag it.
Good speed. He hit it.
No, that one's going to hurt. That one's
He
going to hurt.
wanted to make sure he missed it thin, and then in so doing, overdid it just a little bit.
Yeah, he's one's going to come to the spot. He's got a pretty free cut on the 2 here to get shape on the 6 or the 8. Really one shot away probably from not getting Mr. Schmidt back to the table. Plenty of angle to move the ball, so just a clean stroke here up and down.
Good shot. He didn't try to overdo it.
No, I mean, that's usually,
Yeah.
I think the last several years when Alex has struggled, it's been trying to overdo it a little bit with the stroke.
I think the inclination for everybody is try to overdo that. You really get down there rather than just if you're at that speed. You know, he almost never misses the cut. When you add another 3 feet of speed to it, now it becomes susceptible to hanging.
Yeah, and all you have to do is shoot it a few times, and you realize that bed really works for you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the way that today's game is, it just will roll for quite a piece if you put a good stroke. All right, ended up a little light there, so he's going to have to make more of a cut shot on what will be the match ball. Yeah, he's gotten pretty nice here, considering it's thin.
And he's off the rail. He can bridge it down. And the worst part, I mean, he could hang it. That'd be the worst he'd ever hit it.
Read my mind as far as off the rail. I'd much rather have more cut and be a little off the rail.
Hit it good. Match ball down. Pagulayan moves on and advances. John gracious in defeat. And what a litany of great players John went through to get this deep into the event.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope he's playing the 9 ball. I would think so. I'm sure Alex, I know he is. We'll see more of Alex Pagulayan in the 1 pocket. And hopefully, like I said, John Schmidt in the 9 ball.
We want to thank everyone for sharing your time with us. Stay tuned for today's conclusion of the 1 pocket division here at the 24th annual DCC. That's our time for this time, and so long for just a while.